Welcome back to my series, Visiting K-pop Entertainment Companies. Today we are going to be talking about FNC Entertainment. Let's check out the building first. So I think this is one of the buildings, or this might be like an old building, but there's another one over there. So I have a feeling this is either an old building or like they have two buildings and one is like newer. And then this is more just like the office area for all the office workers because it is very not giving right now. But the fact that they have two buildings means they definitely got some monies. But it's a little bit sad to see all of this like trash over here. Like even if they're not using this building anymore, I feel like people might misunderstand and then have some not so good opinions about it, but you know, they can do whatever they want because they have money. 뭔가 좀 긴장이 되네. This building is probably the newer one because it looks a lot cleaner, and you can definitely tell it's their building because it says here FNC Entertainment. Another guess is that like this company is probably some kind of like subsidiary or like I don't know, and then they work in this building and then the other side of the company works in the other building. But it is nice that there is a CU 편의점 because I guess all the workers and the trainees and artists can just stop by. It's literally attached to the building, so I probably look very sus right now. But if you want to see the architecture of the building, I feel like they went for the very modern vibe. If I remember from some of the videos I was watching, this first building, well, is obviously older, but this is like the original. But yeah, that's pretty much it. FNC Entertainment was established by singer and producer Han Song-ho in 2006. FNC stands for Fish and Cake, which is a reference to the parable in the Bible where Jesus fed thousands of people using 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And obviously, this dude is a Christian. I don't know why they said cake instead of bread, but we're just gonna move on. In 2008, they debuted their first group, FT Island, which stands for 5 Treasure Island, because there's 5 of them.
Really?
This group was considered to be Korea's first idol group band. This paved the way for a lot of future artists who were going after a similar concept. Their music has a very hopeful, upbeat, nostalgic, and dreamy vibe. Now, I feel like Lee Hong-gi became the most popular out of all the group members. He has a very good OST voice. He also acted in dramas like, I forgot the name, but it's the one with Park Shin-hye. This group had a lot of success, particularly in Japan. Currently, only 3 of them remain in the group: Lee Hong-gi, Lee Jae-jin, and Choi Min-hwan. But unfortunately, their success has died down a lot since their glory days. Then in 2009, they debuted another boy band group called Cnblue, which stands for, hold on, I have to get out my phone because I cannot remember this. Code name Burning, Lovely, Untouchable,
What?
Emotional.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful. Basically, each member represented one of these adjectives. Kang Min-hyuk represented the word lovely. Lee Jong-hyun represented the word burning. Very ironic because he was a part of the Burning Sun scandal. We don't talk about him anymore. Lee Jung-shin represented the word untouchable. Chung Young-hwa represented the word emotional. This group gave very like boy next door vibes. I feel like this era of boy groups was also when the term 꽃미남 was very prevalent in the industry, and they did a very good job of embodying that as well. Chung Young-hwa definitely became the most well-known out of all the group members. He starred in roles in dramas such as Heartstrings. He was one of those figures who his face was plastered everywhere in terms of CFs. The rest of the group did kind of get into acting as well. Like Kang Min-hyuk was also in Heartstrings. He also landed a role in The Heirs. Right now, Kang Min-hyuk is still with the company. I feel like he does a lot of stuff on TikTok. But this group solidified the idea that FNC produced really good bands within the entertainment industry, and they also kind of set that precedent. Then in 2011 is when Juniel, who is a singer-songwriter, also debuted with the company. In the beginning, she did gain a lot of traction with her song Illa Illa, but then she kind of fell off at some point. Now she's still active, but she's at a different company. 2012 was when FNC changed their name from FNC Music to FNC Entertainment because they were taking on more than just singers. They were also expanding into acting as well, just like most other K-pop companies. 2012 was also the year that AOA, also called Ace of Angels, debuted. And this group started off really strong with songs Heart Attack, Short Hair, Mini Skirt, Like a Cat. I feel like they were very focused on like the sporty, sexy concept. Seolhyun in particular was doing very well. She was praised for her visuals, she got a lot of sponsorships and brand deals. She also started going into acting. If you guys don't remember the K-drama Orange Marmalade, it was this very like cheesy romance vampire themed K-drama back when all the vampire stuff was really popular. Jimin gained a lot of attention and recognition in the industry as a very talented rapper. Choa also had very good vocals, and recently her name was kind of brought back up in the media because she did a body profile picture thing, and a lot of people were like, wow, she has such a great body. She also released music last year in 2020 as well, but it wasn't really that successful.
She still slayed though.
Unfortunately, the downfall of this group was when there was this huge scandal between Jimin and Mina. Honestly, I'm not gonna go into this at all because it is one hot mess I don't want to deal with, but there are plenty of other sources on the internet, and I will link a very descriptive video down below by Ploopy, who does very well to research and go into this topic. Basically, this scandal was the downfall of their group. 2013, they did have their own reality show called Cheongdam-dong OneEleven. This reality show kind of just peeked into the lives of the artists of this company. This was also the year that N.Flying, which is a rap rock band, debuted in Japan. I feel like this group didn't really gain that much traction until they released their song Rooftop in 2020. And one of the members in the group, Yoo Hae-sung, was actually in the Produce 101 series. Their music is pretty solid, and they do a lot of covers of Japanese songs. I think they're pretty talented. In 2015, they signed on a lot of hit comedians such as No Hong-chul, Lee Guk-ju, and Yoo Jae-seok. They were pretty much people who paved the way for other comedians in the industry, so they're very, very well known. Particularly when they signed Yoo Jae-seok, their stocks rose very quickly. There was kind of a bit of a fiasco controversy when they signed these hit comedians. We're not gonna go too deeply into that. In 2016, they had a reality survival show called D.O.B. The concept of the show was basically two groups kind of competing. One group was called Nia's Band, and the other group was called Nia's Dance. Nia's Dance ultimately became the winners of the show. This group turned into SF9. The whole purpose of this name was they're supposed to shock the world with their talent. Again, Koreans trying to be interesting with their names. They also had their own web drama called Click Your Heart, which also had Mina from AOA starring in it. Their first official win was with the song Good Guy. Overall, they were known to have very solid and interesting choreography. Just like many other groups, there is always one star, and that star was Roon. He definitely has kind of the biggest reach in the company so far with his acting career. Honestly, he is kind of like the Cha Eun-woo of the group. There's also Chani, who was actually an actor when he was younger. His success did kind of catapult after he starred in the hit drama Sky Castle. The other members were pretty much overshadowed by these two. If you're wondering what happened to Nia's band, this group actually debuted in 2017, and they were called Honeyest. Honeyest. This was just another rock band, more focused around an acoustic vibe compared to their rock band seniors. Honestly, I have never heard of them until I started doing research for this video, but they have a more like happy-go-lucky vibe. But unfortunately, they disbanded in 2019. 2019 is when girl group Cherry Bullet debuted, and they even had their own pre-debut show called Insider Channel Cherry Bullet to kind of like introduce them to the world. Haeyoon did star in Produce 48, where she showcased her amazing vocals, but unfortunately she did not make the lineup. Honestly, I did root for her a lot on the show, but I'm very sad she didn't make it. Then we have Pora, Jiwon, and Mei, who did go on the show Girls Planet. I feel like Pora and Jiwon actually did really well on the show because they got a lot of screen time and it seemed like they were on track to be in the final lineup. But unfortunately, they could not become the archetype that the Mnet show wanted, which I do explain in my survival show video, linked up here. This group honestly did have really amazing vocals and stage presence. Some of the comments on their debut showcase talked about how they already started singing live. Originally they were 10 members, but now they're down to 7, and unfortunately the hype kind of died down because they weren't able to ride on the attention they got from Girls Planet. Moving on next to 2020, we have P1 Harmony debut. The name comes from plus the number 1 in harmony. 6 boys with unlimited potential to create various harmonies as a team with 1 extra unknown. Sure, makes sense. I feel like they did really well to kickstart their career despite debuting in one of the worst stages of the pandemic where they couldn't really have that many in-person interactions with their fans. Everything was just more difficult for K-pop groups in general. And this is partly due to the fact that they were pretty active on social media, especially TikTok. There's a lot of instances where Kiho, his TikToks go very viral. P1 Harmony also does a lot of covers of songs, particularly American pop songs as well. They seem very original, well produced, and they stick with current trends very closely. This group really showed their strong vocal and dance capabilities, which kind of shows FNC's growth and their ability to not only produce very good vocal artists, but also dancers as well. I feel like this group blends in very well together, and they've really created their own color that sets them apart from other FNC artists, which begs the question, is FNC really starting a new wave for their company? I mean, P1 Harmony is definitely FNC's Gen Z baby. Moving on to just general thoughts about the company, I feel really bad because a lot of trainees in this company are very talented, but they just don't really get the recognition they deserve. Obviously, I have some emotional attachment to people at Cherry Bullet. The common theme with these FNC artists is that on these survival shows that they go on, they have a very strong start, but somehow they just don't make it to the end. Personally, I feel like FT Island, Cnblue, and Yudeseok was kind of the peak of this company. I guess AOA kind of went like a little bit up there and then they went back down. But then I feel like P1 Harmony is definitely trying their best to make an upward trend. But I'm very interested to see where the future of this company goes. But yeah, what are your thoughts on FNC Entertainment? What K-pop company do you want me to go to next? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.